Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Freedom Friday here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about why omnibus bills / 1,000+ page bills all need to be banned in this country, as well as anyone who supports them needs to be thrown the fuck out of office and in prison where they belong. And it's as simple as that, really. For those that haven't heard, you had basically one of these bullshit things pass again to stop the government shutting down. Of course, this bill is all written by corporate lobbyists, by the way. It's not actually written by legislators or politicians, just like most bills in this country. You know, I was talking even at the state level here to people before that about different things and stuff like that, and they straight up admitted that half the shit's written by Bloomberg himself. This all anti-gun shit is what it is, dude. Or maybe not Bloomberg directly, but it's written by his lawyers that work for Everytown and stuff like that, or Moms to Be in Action, or any of these stupid fucking cunts like that's what it is, dude. And they're just handed to some Democrat, or they're handed by some Rhino, whatever it is, dude, to push through and pass is what it is. And this is exactly why it needs to be auto DQs and receipt of power in this country is what it is, man. Not to mention, you now have Rhino, Mike Gallagher, retiring early, leaving GOP with just one vote majority before they actually lose the speakership to that asshole Hakeem Jeffries now. Bunch of fucking shit. Every single one of these fucking charities needs to have never run for office to begin with. Is what it is. They're all a bunch of fucking scumbags entirely. So we're also going to talk about the AWB there in Illinois, because apparently that's going into effect now because SCOTUS refused to take that up is what it is, because they're scumbags too on that one. And yeah, a bunch of other bullshit today is what it'll be. So, but of course, starting out, we got a bunch of different stuff going on right now. We had, I'm gonna go ahead and go get away punny here for a minute. Is what it is. We had, I'm assuming this is actually a false, sort of a false flag thing to distract away from the bill that passed today. Is what it is. Because now you got developing shock videos, attack on Moscow region concert venue leaves 40 dead and 100+ injured. And of course, you got Kate Middleton reveals she has cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy now. So, yeah. I don't know if I believe that or not, honestly, dude. But anyways. But yeah, we got a few other headlines I want to discuss here from Gateway before we get into that main story is what it is, though. But yeah, we got police locate body of missing college student Riley Stern. Famed drag personality accused of using bookstore to censor Christian messaging. Obviously, Kirk Cameron would be the guy that's the Christian trying to do messaging out there. He's actually has a that guy's become like, I don't know if he's been born. I don't know if he was born again Christian or what exactly it was, but I know he's done like a whole bunch of Christianity stuff in the last couple of decades now is what it is of his life, since he was on Growing Pains and shit. And he's written like a whole book series of like pro-Christian books and stuff like that's what it is now. So, but yeah, so that's basically what it is, though. Yeah, Way of the Master is what his Christian ministry is called there. So, interesting. And then we got this one. Targeted by deepfake porn, Italian PM Maloney is suing for damages. Good. We got New York Senate candidate Cara Casarana gets endorsed by January 6 prisoners. I think that might be the chick that was carrying the gun a year or so ago, give or take. We got update. Ukrainian intelligence blames Putin's special forces for organizing Caucasus City Hall terrorist attack outside Moscow. So they're blaming Putin for a fucking, as if it's a false flag, whatever the case be, when it's probably goddamn Zelensky and them fucking doing themselves, I guess, honestly. And of course, you got stupid cunt Mitt Romney's niece and ex-RNC chair Ron McDaniel now joins liberal MSNBC as contributor after RNC ousting. Fucking ridiculous, dude. That's what she's always been. She's been a goddamn, like, I don't understand how the fuck she isn't being sued into the ground right now and being literally brought up on fucking embezzlement charges and shit like that, dude, for literally stealing a bunch of fucking funds from the GOP at this point, honestly, dude. To get her nails done, get her hair done, go on fucking lavish vacations, do a bunch of private jets and shit like that, etc. Yeah, that's what she was doing, pissing away the RNC money is what it was, dude. Like, how the fuck are you not in jail right now for that shit, bitch? Oh, yeah, that's right, because your fucking piece of shit uncle is Mitt Romney. That's how. Because you're a leftist fucking piece of shit fucking cunt. who hates this fucking country, and we all hate your ass, and it's exactly why we lost our election cycles, because you're a piece of shit asswipe, Rana, you fucking dyke. I'm gonna call it what she is, dude, at that point. And of course, we got transgender activist attempt to dox one of author J.K. Rowling's children, target innocent mother instead. Oh, that's real nice. Interesting. Candace Owens confirms she's no longer working for Trump-hating Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire. Interesting. So, we got Democrat stronghold flips Republican as Florida voters paint Biden territory red. Haitian hell. Political elites ready to form unelected transition council while police and militias launch decapitation strikes, killing rebel gang leaders. That place is fucking scary, especially considering they're now finding boats in the Florida, on the Florida waterways and stuff like that, full of Haitians trying to come to America and stuff, dude. I just say they're not fucking cannibals and shit too, for that matter. And then we have this one: breaking House passes $1.2 trillion bill to avert shutdown, with more votes from Democrats than Republicans. Of course it is, dude, because they're all fucking scumbags, because they all got their own goddamn corporate lobbyists in there, is what it is. I've said before, Mike Johnson's a fucking snake in the grass, dude. And even Marjorie Taylor Greene basically confirmed that shit. Here's what it is. And the one article I was reading earlier from CNN is what it was here. It said, yeah, it said the House voted on Friday to approve key government spending bills, setting off a spurt in the Senate to take up and pass legislation ahead of a fast approaching shutdown. By the way, if the government actually this is what I hate about them fucking being like, oh, gotta avert the government shutdown. Nothing actually changes for these assholes, man. The only thing that hurts was people like my mom, who was on fucking Social Security and stuff like that. It shuts off her Social Security, or at least it did anyway at the time, which I don't get that anymore because she's dead now. But yeah, it would shut off her stuff back in the day, but it would never fucking take these assholes fucking paychecks at all, dude, which is what it should do. The only thing it should do actually is take the fucking goddamn government paychecks from the fucking douchebags in Congress and Senate, is what it is, and they're fucking voting this shit on through, or not voting for it, or whatever the case be, dude. And then also there was, from last time I remember, a few years ago when it was during Trump's administration, it basically shut down some national parks that were like whatever staffed or whatever it was there, where you could still basically walk across the damn thing if you wanted to walk across it, is what it was, dude. And then you had random trash not being picked up around DC, which was basically picked up by the American people, as it was then. So it wasn't really a big fucking deal, honestly, when it did shut down. I don't think it's all the goddamn like end all be all, like the sky is falling every fucking time, is what it is, dude. It's a bunch of shit entirely. So anyway, so as well as setting off a spurt in U.S. Senate to go do it for a thing, as well as energizing a revolt amid House conservatives against Speaker Mike Johnson's leadership, said Friday's tight deadline or timeline has sparked fears of a potential partial government shutdown at midnight, though top lawmakers on both sides of the aisle said that they are pushing to prevent that. Immediately after the House vote, firebrand Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene filed a motion to oust Johnson from the speakership. While the resolution does not need to be addressed immediately, it represents the most formal and stringent challenge to the speaker's leadership since he took office late last year. Its final vote was 286 to 134, with 112 Republicans and 22 Democrats voting against it. So the bill addresses a slate of I love how CNN portrays this, by the way. Bill addresses a slate of critical government operations, including the Departments of Defense, Homeland Security, Labor, Health and Human Services, Education, State, and Legislative branches. Yeah, and guess what? None of those do a damn thing, dude. DOD being funded doesn't do a fucking thing. The fucking Homeland Security being funded doesn't do a fucking thing. Because you know why? Because they have our goddamn border wide fucking open, people! When you literally have a bunch of goddamn illegals fucking surging our border yesterday at El Paso, Texas border sector, and you had a bunch of fucking National Guard that could have and should have opened fire on the fucking asses at that point, but didn't. Instead, they got overran instead, and had the fucking fences being yanked down and shit so these fucking goddamn fighting age males could storm our fucking country. And again, how the fuck is this not being treated as the foreign invasion it is, dude? Literally any other time in history of this fucking country, any other century of our country's history, these motherfuckers that are doing this shit would be shot on fucking sight as foreign invaders. It would be an act of fucking war with live fire being given the okay at that point, as it still should be at this point in history. And meanwhile, those Health and Human Services and everything else that they're talking about right there doesn't do shit for anybody at all, dude, except the one thing it does for is fucking illegals, giving them housing and shit like that in this country. Instead of helping people like myself from getting fucked over and getting fucked out of our homes is what it is, dude. Yes, as lawmakers unveiled the $1.2 trillion funding bill just before 3 a.m. Thursday morning, and the text is more than 1,000 pages long. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Not to mention the stuff we actually know about that's in it already is bullshit, like specifically some fucking group that was given like tens of thousands, $100,000, there's what it was, to give chest binders to fucking minors, dude, for transition bullshit. And other fucking like, it was like tuck underwear and stuff like that for dudes that want to pretend to be women is what it is there and stuff. It's fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. I really wish, honestly, that one gallows thing from the fucking show Carnival Row was actually built right now. Because that's what's happening to a bunch of these fuckers right now, dude. Just put like about 17 of these pieces of shit in it right now at one time, dude, and just cross the fucking line. And I guarantee you the rest of them are going to fall in line real fucking quick or whatever the case be then. And that would be the corporate mega donors, the corporate lobbyists, etc. We'd be putting that first as what it is then. And then the rest of these assholes will just be arrested out of office. It'll be then after that, dude. So you got Arizona rancher goes on trial for killing illegal alien on his property. Bunch of bullshit on that one. That should be a stand your ground immediately then. Let's see. Yeah, MTG files motion to vacate chair and remove Johnson from speakership. Well, I mean, with the way things are going, he's going to be removed anyway. And Hakeem Jeffries is going to be the fucking Speaker of the House pretty soon by the end of the year. If they keep losing a bunch of Republicans out of the House right now, dude, they only need 2 more. They only lose 2 more seats right now, and Democrats have just a 1-vote majority at that point. Then, and of course, they've all voted fucking lockstep for Jeffries' fucking demonic ass is what it is now, many times over. And then we got this one: Democrat chairman drops a vile racial slur while speaking to black government official during House hearing. Yeah, I guarantee he called him the N-word is what it was, or something similar to that. The uncle thing, or whatever the case be then. So anyway, let's see. New York authorities warn residents to expect cellular disruptions during upcoming solar eclipse. Suggests residents to stock up on food, water, and fuel. This is one I've been hearing a lot about too, by the way. And it's not just New York; it's all across the fucking country right now, dude. It's DeWine and company have talked about it here in Ohio. Like I said yesterday, you had Oklahoma and them talking about it, and it's very fucking fishy, honestly. I think they're prepping us for something right now is what it is, dude. The fact that you have FEMA going around giving people flyers and stuff, it really feels like they're about to do a false flag event or some kind of fucking black swan event or something like that. Like whether it be our government doing some EMP burst on us entirely, or whatever the case be, or whether it be some other country doing it on us, like China or something like that, doing it on American soil or something, dude. Who the fuck knows? And then you got this one, which was St. Lucie County Sheriff warns of increasing illegal alien arrivals on Florida beaches. Yeah, and then we got that one. Black Swan event coming late 2024. Rand Paul tells Tucker Carlson. So let's go ahead and see what that one actually is. Yeah, it was Rand Paul warns public to prepare for unpredicted Black Swan event during Tucker Carlson interview. So that was the story number 1 there. Story number 2 is Riley Gaines destroys and humiliates Piers Morgan guest with a simple question and heated debate on eliminating gender in sports. 3, race-baiting anti-Semitic American Airlines passenger gets placed in headlock and dragged off plane by fellow passengers after foolishly picking a fight with him. Bill and Hillary Clinton, airport director, shot by the ATF. That's definitely a fucking false flag attack on that one. That's why I didn't really talk about it yesterday or today for that matter. And then squatters flee after being confronted by a pair of vigilantes at Queens, New York home where homeowner was arrested. Yeah, it was basically get the fuck out of here. We're going to come back and break your legs tomorrow is what it is, then kind of thing. So that's why they got the fuck out is what it was, dude. Then we got President Trump saying, I currently have almost $500 million in cash for bail. Liberal heads are about to explode. You can read that one for you what you will there, man. And again, that's the only reason that shit got Emergency Youth Authorization Act is what it was because that wasn't being used. And I'll leave it at that. We got woman charged with voter fraud in Wisconsin was also involved in 2020 election night absentee ballot flash drive scandal. This is exactly why states like Wisconsin shouldn't have federal representation at all anymore, dude, because they're a bunch of damn cheaters, what it is entirely. So this one's actually just sad. Woman found murdered in New York City apartment after confronting squatters in the late mother's home. Suspects remain at large. Yeah, so what happened was this woman's mom died, right? Who was living in some New York apartment building there is what it was. The daughter here, a couple months ago, goes to go to the apartment to clean out her mother's belongings and stuff like that, ends up missing, and then her dead body is found, like, chopped up into pieces and stuff like that is what it was, by these illegals that were in her mom's house, illegally squatting in her fucking apartment is what it was, dude. It's just fucked up, dude. It really is. That's disgusting. 102-year-old Oakland man ordered to clean up graffiti on his back fence of his home or face hefty fine. And it's all fucking piece of shit. Gang members crap is what it is there, dude. It's fucking disgusting, dude. Bidenomics. Home foreclosures rising nationwide by 50% or more in some states. Of course they are, because nobody can afford anything. That's what it is now, dude. You know? It's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. So... anyway, we already pretty much talked about the main story of the day here, so I'm going to go to some other stuff here. This is the video of that dude in Florida, who's the sheriff there in that one county, confronting a bunch of illegals here and stuff. It's just a boat full of fucking Haitians that they're trying to apprehend there is what it was. Then we got... let's see. We're going to talk about a couple of these other ones as well. We got this one that's about it's a little over 4 minutes, actually. Candace Owens talking to an all-black podcast at the Breakfast Club about how politicians don't give a shit about them, is what it is, then, as black people. By the way, it's because they don't, dude. They don't give a shit about anybody else, for that matter. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Latino, Asian, otherwise. They just want your vote, people. And you're dumb enough to vote for the shittiest candidate in most cases is the problem. Yes, as Candace Owens leaves panel of all-black podcast hosts in stunned silence after dropping truth nukes. Government doesn't like you. They don't like anybody, dude. All they want is power. And they'll do whatever they have to do to maintain it all the time is what it is. So.
Now, it's first off, trillions of dollars you're signing these omnibus bills. If you read into it, where that money is going,
all out of fucking country.
It's literally going, to museums, the boards of museums. They're quite literally money laundering. Is what's happening.
Oh yeah, they are.
Sign these bills, but they keep it so that the information level is so low for Americans that it's like, oh, COVID's so bad, like we're going to give you a check that's like, $300. This basically describes welfareism, right? Like, despite the fact that there's been trillions of dollars since.
Well, what's even sadder, I'm gonna stop there for a minute. I want to talk about this for a minute, actually. So that girl, the black girl in Missouri that beat up that white girl and like beat her fucking head against the pavement and shit like that, is now trying to claim that she's the fucking victim, and her idiotic family started like some kind of GoFundMe variant now, and it wasn't immediately yanked off that fucking site, dude. Is what the problem is there. And it's like, no, bitch, you were not the fucking victim when you're beating someone else's fucking head into the goddamn pavement. You were the fucking aggressor and attacker in that situation, and you're asking to be charged an adult and put the fuck down permanently is what it is then. So you can never do it again. When you left that poor girl brain dead, pretty much. Or at least on life support anyway, is what it is right now, and in a coma as far as I'm aware. So, fucking bullshit all the way around, dude. I swear to fucking God. But yeah, and actually Candace herself brought up about people like that in the past, actually, about the whole like victimhood mentality they have is what it is. And yeah, it does go back to the whole welfare system is what it is, man. So anyway, continuing on with what she's saying here, though.
The establishment of welfare, Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it.
They are.
You don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow, before welfare was established in the 1950s, Black Americans were actually outpacing white Americans in this country in terms of economic growth.
No, she's talking about idiot Charlemagne.
Because our families were together. We had good values. The government only wants to give you the bare minimum. But where's the rest of the money? Where is it going? They sign these bills making you think that this money is going to you. It's not. They are stealing from the American people.
They are.
And you look at your congressman, whoever it is that you guys sent down to DC, and you realize that they're all just puppets. I feel like we're watching a performance.
Okay, so I would say yes and no. Some are puppets, some are not. They are willfully engaging in this shit, dude. They are the fucking ones pulling the strings of other people, is what it is there. And when I say that, I'm talking about people like Pelosi, Schumer, Waters, those people have been there for like fucking 30, 40, 50 years in some cases, what it is there. Like the AOC types are the morons being fucking, you know, the, what do you call it thing? Like Magdalene, whatever it is, that they pull the puppet strings and shit like there's what it is. Yeah, she's one of these idiots that is a dancing fucking puppet is what it is, dude. Like that. In fact, that bitch has literally been ousted as a quite literal fucking casting call congresswoman from Sean Huger and the people behind the Justice Democrat movement is what it is. So, and that's the problem again, is the morons like that idiot Hank Johnson, who is downtown Atlanta, Georgia district, being put back into office again and again and again. I'm pretty sure that's where Charlemagne's whole thing is from. Here's what it is Atlanta area, if I'm not mistaken.
No. And who can say the most outrageous thing? You know, the Republicans don't want to sign this because they want, you know, slavery and they want you back in chains. And the Democrats don't want to sign this because they want grandma to die. Whatever it is, you're watching. Just it's
WB, lady.
That's why I don't think. That's why I think if you're black, you shouldn't be beholden to any political party.
Doesn't matter if you're black or not, buddy. If you're an American voter, you shouldn't be holding any fucking party, you moron. Like that's the whole fucking point entirely. We should not have a two-party system to begin with, Leonard. We should have a literal fucking like 40, 50, 100 fucking plus party thing at this point, in this big case, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the problem right now, and that's what creates the uni parties, is having this fucking two-party system for decades of our lives, dude. And really centuries of this country is what it is then. Like, even our founding fathers understood that. That's why you used to have, like, other fucking political parties, dude. Like, the predecessor of the fucking Republican Party was, like, the Whig Party or WAG Party, or whatever the fuck it was there. Which, by the way, had a pretty good actual fucking political stance, actually, on that one, dude, from some stuff. It's, like, way more conservative than conservatives are now is what it is, man. So, I mean, hell, you had one guy here in Ohio running the other day on the, what was it? George Wallace Party, I think is what it was. That one dude that was Alabama governor at one point, who was a raging fucking racist. And this guy was like legitimately okay with running as that fucking political party, Democrat. Like, Jesus Christ, buddy. I mean, it makes sense though, obviously, because they're all fucking racist assholes. So, you know. Especially that fucking piece of shit, Kamisha Sawant there in Washington State, who shouldn't even be in this country at all because she's literally a fucking Indian foreign national. But yet she was able to hold office there and continue to hold office there in that area of the Seattle City Council after literally outing the mayor's fucking home address during the Chaz riots of 2020. And that's the only reason that the whole Chaz got shut down as fast as it did was because Jenny Durkin had a second Chaz going to her house is what it was then. And they were trying to do an occupied area in her front lawn, basically. And she's like, shut it down, bitches. And called the cops in immediately. And the next morning they were beating the fuck out of the people there is what it was then. And kicking their asses down the street is what was there. To destroy what was the Chaz for like a month there. Meanwhile, nobody was ever arrested for holding people hostage for a month of their lives. That fucking piece of shit, Raz Simone, is still walking free, even though he had like committed at least a dozen weapons charges in that state. And a couple federal ones, if I'm not mistaken, that would be federal felonies. And then you have, obviously, the kidnapping, the extortion, everything else like that. This motherfucker and the people that were following him were all committing that entire time that they were there. Not to mention all the unidentified murders that existed during that time period where you had people's dead bodies being chopped up in the fucking shop/Chaz and being found 3-4 blocks away in random dumpsters and stuff like that, dude, in smaller pieces is what it was then. But yeah, nobody ever talks about that stuff, by the way. All they ever talk about is Yankee Marshall getting bitch slapped across the face by some Antifa piece of shit. Which is fucking hilarious at the same time, but, you know, that's besides the point. Because Yankee is a fucking ally. He's also a fucking idiot for that matter, too, by the way. Said that Washington state gun laws have never changed, and they've changed significantly in the last couple of years now, is what it is. To where you can't have basically anything in that state anymore. That's not grandfathered in, that's what it is there. Not to mention you have Jay Inslee, who is doing all kinds of criminal shit most recently. He did a bunch of pedo-related stuff relating to kids and transitioning and stuff like that. That should have actually seen him immediately removed from office and try with crime against humanity is what it is right now. So, not to mention for the people he mass murdered back in 2020 during the lockdowns and stuff like that. But that's besides the point again. So, anyway, back to Candace Owens here.
I think that any concept of saying that I am a Republican forever, a Democrat forever is a nonsense. You know, you should always look at the candidates that are running, and any person that is running saying that they want to grow government is your enemy.
Yep.
Why do you think people give you a lot of backlash for questioning people and having questions? I see it all the time with Charlemagne. If we question something that Kamala Harris did, or question something that Joe Biden did, or question somebody that's Democrat did, why do you think our people have so much backlash when you ask so many questions?
Well, because I think that they don't realize that they've been manipulated against their own interests. And a lot of it is, you know, when you start telling the truth, you become a problem to the establishment, right? So you're in the military-industrial complex and you want people to just kind of sleepwalk into another war. And I'm sitting here telling you that, you know, Pentagon just can't keep finding the trillions of dollars that they send overseas. They've got this budget and they're sending all this money to Ukraine. And then they say, oh, we don't know where all the money went. It's being laundered and it's being sent back to a very small group of powerful people.
Yes, it is.
And so when you have someone like me who's cutting through all of the emotional arguments, you have to turn that person into persona non grata. Right. And what better way to do it than to have their own community attacking them and saying that they're, you know, pro-white or anti-black. I mean, it's a nonsense things that they say about me. If you listen to what I'm actually saying, I'm sitting here providing a blueprint for Black Americans to get ahead because it's time. OK, it's time. We've been doing this for a very long time in this country. Black America, wake up. OK, they don't like you. They don't like us. OK, there's
so
not America has.
Yes, America.
Yeah, like the government, the American government. Why would you think the American government wants to help you? Well, at what point in history has that proven to be right? And I'll challenge.
Well, the thing is, and I'm going to stop right there and discuss this for a minute because it's not even just Black Americans, dude. It's any American for that matter. The government hates Americans, period, dude. They hate the fact that we as American citizens have the freedoms bestowed to us upon the U.S. Constitution, our God-given inalienable rights at birth. Is what it is. Everything written in the U.S. Constitution is birthright rights at that point. It's anything that the whole entire document couldn't even exist right now. Like it could basically be poofed out of existence right now, and it would still be laws of the fucking land that we have at birth. End of story. Whether that be the right to free speech, the right to keep and bear arms, all of it, dude. And that's the problem right now. And that's why they hate it so much. That's why you have Democrats whose entire fucking existence in many cases is to attack gun rights. That's why you have that fucking retard, Maxwell Frost, the biggest fucking moron in Congress currently, talking about zombie guns in the last fucking day or two is what it is now. And it's like, when you actually look at what he's talking about, what he's literally talking about attacking is accessories, dude. He's talking about attacking accessories and parts of fucking firearms that aren't the actual serialized piece is what it is. So it would be like a barrel, or it would be a slide, or it would be a fucking, you know, a forward grip, or hell, it could be a fucking pistol grip for a damn AR for that matter. Or it could be like a buffer tube and spring and shit like that. Like, it's like, well, we can't have these things because they're fucking, the cops that want to do buybacks simply yank all that shit off and piecemeal it out then for money. Of course they fucking do, you idiot. Like, they're going to destroy an entire gun. What all I got to do is destroy the frame/receiver, you moron. That's actually the serialized piece the ATF considers the gun. Like, yeah, you're going to have an entire upper, you're going to have an entire basically lower, more or less, minus the fucking frame. To be that thing is what it is then, man. Or receiver, I should say. I forget exactly which is what, actually. I think technically, if you're talking about a handgun, the actual lower for the handgun, that wouldn't be the slide and stuff in the barrel and shit. I think that part of it would actually be the frame. And I think the receiver would be the actual, like, AR lowers and stuff like that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've always been confused by the thing myself at this point. Again, you got to think about it, though. I mean, I've only been a gun owner in this state, in this country for roughly 5.5 years, give or take right now. It'll be October of this coming year here, or I should say October of 2024 here is what it is. So about 7 months from now will be my 6th anniversary as a gun owner in this country. So, yeah. And that's why I basically know the bare minimums of ARs and stuff like that. I know the bare minimums of handguns. If something broke in my handgun or my AR for that matter, I would have no idea how to fix the thing, honestly, dude. I would be like, I don't know what the problem is. People would be like, oh, it's, your firing pin broke, or, an extractor blew out or something like that is what it would be for them, because they would know what they're talking about, because they've been gun guys for, 20, 30, 40 years in some cases in this country, honestly, dude. But yeah, I know basically, the parts of a gun essentially at this point for the most part. And then, you put this ammo in this magazine, you put the magazine in the gun, you pull this thingy called a charging handle, you flip off the selector switch to fire, and it goes bang. That's the basics of the shit, dude, honestly. So if I had to break down an entire AR-15 to its bare components and then put it back together, could I? Fuck no. Hell no, I could not do that thing. Because I would not know the first thing of what the hell I was doing, dude. Hell, I could barely build an AR lower out with my own hands is what it is. I really actually couldn't even do that because my fucking knuckles are so messed up from the arthritis and stuff like that. I had to have my cousin's buddy do it for me is what it was. So put my trigger and hammer and stuff like that in there is what it was. Which, by the way, I gotta say, that Anderson that I got recently, that thing has a badass fucking polished trigger in it, man. I've seriously debated about just taking the stock off of my current lower build that guy helped me build. That's what it was over there. And just simply popping on the Anderson and then just doing the Anderson up and stuff like that as the main go-to is what it is there. So I'm still debating right now. I'm still waiting for my fucking card to come in. I had to call the bank today because they were bitching about that whole thing. And I was like, why hasn't it come in yet? And they're like, we don't know, man. But, wait another week and then call us if it doesn't come in 5 more days now is what it is. 5 more business days would be another week from now, obviously. 7 days now. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, people, come on now. I think it's probably a USPS system, because even the people that were trying to help me get the disability now called me up and were bitching me out today is what it was. And I'm just like, yeah, let me explain this to you. And this fucking guy wouldn't shut the hell up and let me explain it to him is what it was. And I'm just like, bro, the fucking postal system was illegally holding my mail for a month and a half now. That's why I wasn't getting the shit. That's probably why it was sent back. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. That's exactly what happened with the fucking card, too, for that matter. It was sent to the thing. And they're just like, oh, well, we don't have a thing of him being here anymore. Send it back kind of thing. And that was probably 4 or 5 days ago, would be my guess, honestly. Because it should more than been here by now, dude. It's been 2 damn weeks now since they fucking ordered that shit. So the fact that it's not here still is really fucking annoying to me is the point, honestly. But anyway, I digress. Going back to what Candace was saying here about stuff. So shit, I lost my place here.
That is running, saying that they want to grow government.
Questions I see all the time with Charlemagne. If we question something that Kamala Harris did, or question something that Joe Biden did, or question somebody that's Democrat did, why do you think our people have so much backlash when you ask so many questions?
Well, because I think that they don't realize that they've been manipulated against their own interests. And a lot of it is, when you start telling the truth, you become a problem to the establishment, right?
Yeah,
so if you're the military-industrial complex and you want people to just kind of sleepwalk into another war, and
which is not going to fucking happen at this point, people.
That, Pentagon just can't keep finding the trillions of dollars that they send overseas. They've got this budget and they're sending all this money to Ukraine, and then they say, "Oh, we don't know where all the money went." It's being laundered.
Yeah, Zelensky's fucking pocket.
To a very small group of powerful
a yacht that he bought
so
into.
You have someone like me who's cutting through all of the emotional arguments. You have to turn that person into persona non grata, right? And what better way to do it than to have their own community attacking them and saying that they're pro-white or anti-black. I mean, it's a nonsense things that they say about me. If you listen to what I'm actually saying, I'm sitting here providing a blueprint for Black Americans to get ahead, because it's time. Okay, it's time. We've been doing this for a very long time in this country. Black America, wake up. Okay, they don't like you. They don't like us. Okay, there's not. America has. Yes,
America.
Yeah, like the government, the American government why would you think the American government wants to help you? Well, at what point in history has that proven to be right? And I'll challenge that.
Well, and like I said earlier with that whole thing, so the thing is, it's not just blacks that they don't like, dude. It's everybody. It's especially the poor people in this country, dude. It's like, that's the thing. They want to keep us poor. They want to keep us downtrodden. You know, when you look at gun control throughout history in this country, it wasn't just black people that it was against. It was anybody that had, like, no money, basically. You know, there's a reason why, when you look at when the National Firearms Act 934 was created in this country, why it was a $200 tax stamp. It was a $200 tax stamp because of two reasons, actually. Number one, a Tommy gun at that time cost exactly $200. That's basically one reason why it was actually $200 tax stamp then. The other reason was because many poor people who had a fucking Tommy gun or could afford a Tommy gun or a bar, or whatever it was that it was full auto, could not afford that $200 tax stamp on top of that, dude, is what it was. So it was a way to literally buy them out of the Second Amendment. It was a way to literally put a threshold on who could and could not have guns in this country. And it's a bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. It was in a direct infringement upon the U.S. Constitution and the Second Amendment of everyone's constitutional rights in this country. And it's the same thing with the Jim Crow era laws, dude. You know, it's why you had North Carolina here in the past couple of years now trying to finally do away with the pistol permit stuff, because you had to literally before this in the state of North Carolina go to the sheriff's office and get a fucking piece of paper that says you have good cause to be able to purchase a pistol in this state or this county. And it was under that piece of shit, Roy Cooper, who is a raging fucking racist, by the way, who he vetoed that not once, but fucking twice in a 2-year time span. And it was not until the second time around that you had enough Republicans and good people that were Americans in there in general, for the Republican Party, finally had the majority there, and we're like, you know what? Fuck you, Roy. We are overriding your veto, you fucking cunt. And they finally did. But you know what happened there? Every single Democrat that was on that piece of legislation didn't give a fuck about the American people having the right to keep and bear arms in this country, dude. I'm not saying Republicans are that much better, but at a state level, in some cases, yes, they are. Because when you are literally having them be the ones to push forward constitutional carry, stand your ground, any other piece of pro-choice legislation, etc., whether it be SOPA, whether it be anything like that, dude, it's these individuals are the ones that are actually introducing this legislation. They're actually willing to work to get it past the fucking goalposts and get it into law. Democrats just want to sit there and fuck you in the ass every single time. Meanwhile, most of their fucking party, especially pieces of shit like Ismail Muhammad out there, are sitting there doing fucking full speeches in goddamn Somali, dude. And it's like, bro, why the fuck are you still on my state soil, asshole? Get the fuck out of my state. Get the fuck out of my country, you fucking cunt. We don't want you here. We don't need your fucking ass here. Take your Somali terrorist ass back to fucking Somalia, bitch. End of fucking story. And take that bitch Abduli with you and the rest of your fucking scumbag ass motherfuckers like Jama, etc. there. They're not trying to get to the General Assembly this coming go around now. I don't care who these people are running against, dude. Vote for anybody but their asses at this point. Kick them all the fuck out of office entirely. Here in the state of Ohio. Not one of these 5 assholes belongs in any position of power in this state or this country. They're nothing more than Ilhan Omar 2.0, dude, is what it is at a state level right now. And I'll be damned if I watch my state fall again and again and again, election cycle after election cycle, to these fucking terrorists in my nation, dude, right now. Fuck all that. It's time to boot Islam's asses the fuck out of this country entirely and be done with it, dude, like our founding fathers always wanted to do back in the day, but never actually specifically wrote down in the Constitution itself what it was, which they should have, because it's in other places out there, dude. If you look into the Federalist Papers, all that stuff, like that's what it was, and like various founding fathers journals and stuff like that, like specifically Thomas Jefferson and stuff like that, dude. There's reasons why specifically Jefferson had a copy of the Quran. It's because he knew his fucking enemies were in this world, dude. He knew that Islam was a fucking problem. And he and others that were part of the founding of this nation understood that, yes, these people do not belong on our country's soil because they will never fucking assimilate. They will always attempt to take over this country, which is exactly what they're trying to do right fucking now. And I'm fucking sick and tired of it is what it is, dude. So, anyway. That being said, going back to Candace here.
and I'll make it wider to all Americans. When has it ever been the circumstance that you felt that the government really just was out for your own best interest?
Yeah, never. Never.
Think of them as a corporation. They want to grow themselves. They
Of course
want
they
new
do.
departments, bigger departments, larger budgets, like any other corporation would want. And they never want to leave DC because then we don't have term limits, which we should have, right? If we had term limits,
We should have everything.
You can only serve for 4 years. Well, then guess what they would be doing for those 4 years? Trying to shrink government because they'd have to come back out and be us, right?
Yeah. Well, no, and what she just said right there is a perfect example of that, dude. It's not only just term limits; it should be everything on the board right now. It should be term limits. There should be age limits. There should be health limits for people that are all dementia and fucking Alzheimer's drugs and shit like that. They're having their system right now. There should be cognitive testing every fucking 6 months, every single person in the fucking place there. And if they find out they're all psychos and shit like that, guess what? They're thrown out of office immediately on the spot. Is what it is, dude. Which leads to my other thing I was going to talk about, which I'm at qualification of every pound in this country right now. If you are directly attacking the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, any other part of the Bill of Rights in this country, your ass needs to be gone forever. Is what it is, dude. You need to be yanked out of fucking office in handcuffs and dragged off to the nearest prison cell there in Washington D.C., held for trial, given a fucking fair day in court, charged with the crimes you've committed, and then get a jury of your peers, and that jury of your peers would literally be the American people, mostly the constituents of your fucking districts and stuff like that. And it would be people who are going to find you guilty 100% of the time because you are guilty as fucking fuck. And it's as simple as that, really. So
when you look at the way that your tax dollars are being spent, you should be outraged.
Yeah,
you should. Be
I'm fucking
angry.
pissed all the time,
Stop
dude. What it is.
that the enemy is, they constantly have us arguing against each other, women versus men, black versus white, It's
Latino versus Asian.
The reason why they want us constantly warring is because it distracts from all of us coming together and taking a look at who the real criminals are. And the real criminals are this small group, this small cadre of powerful people that I think we're virtually all still on a plantation. They just made it look nice. You got a nice chair. We got nice chairs here. But I think we're all still on a plantation.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that, honestly. Well, that last one is like, maybe. And it's mostly because of the fact that he did talk about banning bump stocks and stuff like that. That kind of fucked us over when it came to the ATF rulings of more recently times, is what it is, dude. So you open the door for that one then. I like this one here. This is a good one. Going back to the memes in the comment section there. Was previous lifetime Democrat voters be like 2016, 2020, 2024. Yeah, disappeared voting Democrat. I don't know who this kid is. I know he's like famous for doing like the deuces yo kind of thing is what it is. And it's like him disappearing or whatever. I don't know if his disappearing is because he got killed in like a drive-by or something or what the hell happened there, but yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is with that kid, man. But yeah, as this Tim guy said here, he said, no government history of humanity has ever had good intentions of helping and serving its citizens. Yeah, well, that's the problem, though, is what it is, dude. And it's like, that is exactly what the problem is in general. And it's people that don't get that is what it is, man. So yeah, somebody was doing a thing from November of 2023. It says, Nick Freitas breaks down Candace Owens' feud with Ben Shapiro. Quote, the central contradiction is that this is a nation that worships Jesus, but led by an elite that rejects Jesus Christ. Yep. It's actually spot on right there. 100%. 100%, dude. And like I said, there's many, many times where I've talked about we're fighting demonic evil at this point, because we really are, honestly, dude. For real. Like, the fact that we are sitting here and having to deal with shit like that when we are literally fighting demons in this country is a very bad deal right now, dude. And that's what scares the shit out of me about April 8th, honestly, because, as much as I want to hope that this is going to be a bad, it's going to be a mass awakening, whatever the case be, I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a bad deal all the way around. It's going to literally be some kind of a black swan event right now. Because it just seems like it's coming more and more to that point now where there's no way that they're not going to pull something right now, dude. And whether that be for them to maintain power, whether it be implementation of martial law, whether it be fucking, who knows what, man. I was watching that Gray State trailer the other day after the one show that I was talking about it and stuff like that. And the concept trailer, obviously not the shitty fucking retarded ass documentary they made out of it, which is nonsensical BS is what it is. It was all government done crap is what it is in that situation. I'm talking about the actual concept trailer of the guy who was murdered by the government and then staged to make it like he killed his family is what it was. That dude knew what the fuck he was talking about, and he was like a decade and a half early is what it was, man. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy how our country has basically fallen to the wayside, and it's people who are just actively trying to fuck us over is what it is right now. Who don't give a shit about us, never give a shit about us, never cared about anything for us. Because that's the thing. If they actually gave a shit about us, dude, they wouldn't be trying to attack our gun rights. They wouldn't be trying to pass so-called assault weapons bans. They wouldn't be, doing all kinds of other shady shit and stuff like that. And then we had this one actually here that I want to talk about for a minute now, which is pretty fucking crazy. This happened here in the last day or so here in Ohio, which is basically this dude who was part of the Rwandan genocide like 30-something plus years ago has now been hiding in my state for the past 30 years is what it is. Yeah, so the authorities say Ohio man hid secret for 30 years. He's now charged for lying about his role in the Rwandan genocide. Oh my God, this is right behind. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. This is in my backyard. Canton, Ohio? Fuck me, man. An Ohio man has been charged for... God, why is it always like right here and I don't even hear about this shit until I read the fucking like headline thing for like USA Today and shit like that, dude, when it's like right here by me is what it is. Yeah, so Ohio man has been charged for lying about his alleged involvement in the murders and rapes during the 1994 Rwandan genocide, which left more than 800,000 people dead. To obtain U.S. citizenship, federal authorities announced Thursday. Eric Tabaro, I'm not sure about the guy's last name, also known as Eric something or other, was arrested Thursday and faces various federal charges that include obstruction of justice, perjury, and falsifying information. U.S. Attorney General's office for the District of Massachusetts said in a news release. Okay, apparently he's living in Massachusetts, what it was then. So federal prosecutors accused this man 52 of living a double life, that he insisted he was a victim during the genocide. For nearly 30 years, he was allegedly hid the truth about his crimes he committed during Rwanda genocide in order to seek refuge in the United States. They all fucking do, man. It's exactly what I've said many times. Stop letting these fucking people into my goddamn country, assholes. Kick them the fuck all back out, man. Unless you can fucking 100% vet this person's fucking story, they don't get into this fucking country. And it's as simple as that, man. Anyway, said, yeah, let's see. He said, committed, did all that stuff, committed Rwandan genocide, seek refuge in the United States, and reap the benefits of U.S. citizenship. Acting U.S. Attorney General Joshua S. Levy of Massachusetts said in a statement, the United States will not be a safe haven for suspected human rights violators and war criminals. Well, obviously it will be when you let a bunch of fucking Somali terrorists and a bunch of Islamic terrorists in general from every other goddamn country into this fucking state, bro, and in this fucking country, bro. Like, obviously it will be for these people, dude. It will be for human traffickers that are doing the same shit as what it is, buddy. Until you actually deal with that shit is what it is. Kick them all fuck back out, man. Seriously. Anyways, in addition to concealing his involvement in the genocide for nearly 3 decades, prosecutors say this guy gave false information in 2019 Boston trial of his former classmate and now convicted Rwandan genocide perpetrator Jean Leonard Tagarga. Tagarga was convicted of 2 counts of immigration fraud and 3 counts of perjury in connection with his application for asylum to the United States in 1994. Hundreds of thousands of Rwandans were massacred after the Hutu extremist-led government incited a genocide. According to U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum, federal prosecutors said the country had significant ethnic division. About 85% of its population were Hutus, and about 14% were Tutsis. I think it's pronounced that then. So after then President Javier something or other. Plane was shot down. Violence broke out across the country, and the Hutu majority targeted the minority population, killing about 800,000 of those other people, including women and children, over 100 days. Yeah, again, 20th century massacres, people. Says, what is the guy accused of? Federal prosecutors say he was a medical student at the University of Rwanda in Burati, Rwanda in the early 1990s. He and the other guy were well-known student members of the ruling Hutu-dominated party, an RMND political party, and the something or other, a notorious violent youth wing of the movement. So basically their version of probably Antifa, I guess is what this people beer here is what it is. So according to court documents, said Tutsi students were killed at the university during the genocide at that place, according to an affidavit filed in the court case. Because many Tutsis sought refuge at the hospital grounds and also sought care for their injuries, hospital itself became a site of many atrocities. Court documents allege that that guy, Eric, killed Tutsi men, women, and children by striking them on the head with a nail-studded club and then hacking them to death with a machete. Jesus fucking Christ, this guy's a psycho lunatic. And this motherfucker's been living like right by me, dude, almost my entire life. Are you fucking kidding me, people? Jesus Christ. And people wonder why I carry a fucking gun everywhere now, dude. Like, seriously. So, citing specific instances, court documents allege that this guy killed a 14-year-old boy and a man who sewed doctors' coats at the university hospital. Says witnesses in Rwanda recently identified the locations of the killings and drew pictures of this guy's weapons. Court documents said, in addition to the murders, this Eric guy both participated in and aided and abetted the rape of numerous Tutsi women during the genocide. Said he was accused of being, quote, amongst the most vicious university students who were members of that Antifa kind of group, as what it was there during the genocide. It says he later fled Rwanda, came to the United States. Summer 1994, he fled Rwanda after an attacking Tutsi rebel group, forced government into the Democratic Republic of Congo. Federal prosecutors said he made his way to Kenya, where in 1995 he is accused of lying to immigration officials to gain administration in the United States as a refugee. Said he immigrated to Ohio, where he has lived since 1995. Court documents added. That's interesting that they have it be he's living here in Ohio, but yet the actual federal case is in Massachusetts there. So that's pretty interesting, actually. So he worked as an engineer at Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company in Akron for 23 years. Company couldn't immediately be reached for comment. So while living in Ohio, he allegedly continued to provide false information about his involvement in Rwandan genocide to obtain legal permanent residence and ultimately U.S. citizenship. 2017, federal authorities charged the other guy with fraudulently seeking asylum into the U.S. by concealing his membership in that whole thing and involvement in the genocide. So during the other guy's trial, this Eric guy testified that neither he nor the other guy participated in the genocide. Federal authorities began investigating Eric, who allegedly lied to federal agents when he was recently interviewed for his activities. Arriving in the United States, according to court documents, he was arrested Thursday in Ohio and was detained after a federal court appearance. He will appear in federal court in Boston later this year. U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts said, if convicted, he can face up to 20 years in prison and a $750,000 fine. Fuck that, dude. Deport this motherfucker from our country's soil immediately and never let his ass back on U.S. soil ever again, motherfuckers. Goddamn, people. Fuck that 20-year bullshit. No, put a bullet in his fucking head and be done with it at this point, dude. He fucking murdered women and children. He fucking helped people get raped. Kill his ass and be fucking done with it. I am beyond infuriated right now, man. Yeah, I'm pretty much done with this shit, man. I think that's going to be it for today's stream, honestly. There's nothing more that can be said after that, man. Honestly. Actually, I will talk about this one for a sec. Turns out a government isn't just after raw milk. Farmer says Oregon is, quote, going after small farmers selling food to their neighbors. Woman operating farm for 7 years gets notice she can no longer operate without a water right. Permit processing to use her own water well. Fuck that shit, dude. Again, this is the problem with government in a nutshell, dude. It's a bunch of scumbag criminals like that. So, then we got this one. Report of vehicles with UN peacekeepers on them are delivering Beretta guns and ammo to hotels and buildings where military-age male immigrants are being housed. Oh, that's a fucking scary factor. I'm pretty sure that's here in America, dude. Yep, box of Beretta handguns, dude. And a whole bunch of crates of them, actually, on that one. Dude, they really are setting us up. I said before, I'll say it again, dude. They're setting us up for fucking a massacre in this country right now, dude, honestly. So, best thing you can do on April 8th is be armed and be ready, man, because it's about to pop off real fucking quick. Well, at least this one's good. Canton seeks to deter panhandling with better way to give initiative. So, that has been a problem right now in the last few years, actually, up in Belton area there specifically. I know there's always, like, almost every single corner there is usually a panhandler. There's what it is now. So, anyway. But, what else was I going to say here, though? Yeah, I was going to throw this one onto the Discord, actually, as well. So, anyway. I actually saw a funny one the other day. It was there's a video of a silverback gorilla eating peppers. And it's literally like, I don't know if it was supposed to be the gorilla farting and like being all confused about himself or whatever, like cutting one, or if it was like another animal that was like ripping one by him or whatever then. But yeah, it's actually pretty hilarious. This is a couple different YouTube shorts that are on this site from the zoo, I think is what it is. So yeah, you got this one. It was yellow peppers. It's actually pretty interesting the way this gorilla eats a yellow pepper, actually. Yeah, look at this face, just like, what the fuck was that? I actually watched it about 10 times yesterday. Just had a good laugh about it every single time. But yeah, it's funny, man. Okay, let's see here now. Actually, I think we'll read this Canton article here, and then we're gonna go call it a day then, because we got some stuff we gotta do now. Is what it is. So, but yeah, it says Canton seeks to deter panhandling with better way to give initiative. Says Canton, Ohio. On many weekends, a man standing at the corner of McKinley Avenue and 12th Street holds a cardboard sign that tells passersby to, quote, be nice. It does work. He greets oncoming vehicles with a wave and a nod. whether they stopped to give money or not. On Thursday, when a below-freezing temperatures likely kept him indoors, Canton City workers installed a sign at that intersection that encourages motorists to give their money to local charities rather than to panhandlers like that guy. So the sign reads, "Say no to panhandling, there's a better way to give," and directs people to the city's website, cantonohio.gov/betterway. For additional information on local nonprofit organizations, city workers are installing 37 signs across the city at intersections where people frequently ask motorists for money. The final 4 signs would be expected to be erected here today on 12th Street Avenue and Market Avenue. So, yeah. Of course, it's the new mayor, William Shriver II. This guy's a Democrat, by the way. I want to point that one out. So, yeah, it says leading the Better Way to Give initiative, said Shriver, who took office in January, said the signs are a low-cost way to deter panhandling in the city, while also supporting local nonprofit organizations that help address the root cause of people's struggles by providing meal vouchers, gas, and financial help. No, it's not, you idiot. A low-cost solution, buddy, would be to arrest people for panhandling, you fucking jackass, and charge them with the fucking crimes they're committing by panhandling, you idiot. Because, by the way, we have anti-panhandling laws in this fucking state, dipshit. It's all fucking, like, mid-level misdemeanors, actually. It's, like, at least 6 months in jail, actually, at that point. So, of course, Democrats like you just love to put up signs and shit, though, to waste taxpayer money that way instead of actually doing the fucking actual root cause of the problem, which is actually arresting damn panhandlers, douchebag. So, yeah. Willie said, "We're just trying to educate the public that there is a better way to give besides giving to panhandlers," who added that the Canton City Council also supports the initiative. Said there are so many nonprofits and they do a very good job in our community. No, they fucking don't. If they did, you wouldn't have people that panhandling, you idiot. So, yeah, it's just so fucking stupid, man. Yeah, interesting. Signs had to be reinstalled. The signs originally went up in February, but were taken down last week when city officials learned they contained an incorrect telephone number. No, that's fucking government in a nutshell right there, dude. Don't even know what the fucking number is, what it is. Jesus. Signs do not ban panhandling. Oh, wait, really? I thought it was illegal to. I could have sworn it was illegal to panhandle in this state, dude, but apparently it's not. At least not in Canton anywhere there. So here it says panhandling is legal and giving to panhandlers is legal in Canton, the most other places nationwide. Which it shouldn't be, by the way, especially when, because the thing is, like, you're distracting drivers is what it is, dude. Like, how is that not, like, interfering with, like, distracting driver laws and stuff like that? Because you even be on the street corner, like, you're obstructing traffic because you're blocking the fucking sight of vision and stuff like that. That's what it is, man. So, yeah, so Canton had a law that banned panhandling between 1995 and 2019 when City Council repealed the ordinance to avoid a potential legal challenge from American Civil Liberties Union. So the ACLU, the same jerk-offs that are all behind anti-gun shit and pro-abortion crap is what it is, dude. Fuck the ACLU, dude, for real. So the U.S. Supreme Court in 2015 and several federal courts since have determined that panhandling restrictions violate the First Amendment. No, they fucking don't. You're literally fucking... Oh my god, bro. I'm never going to get into this shit anymore, dude. It's a bunch of ways for people to fucking steal money without stealing money is what it is, dude. Although, to be fair, I mean, you can basically say the U.S. government's a bunch of panhandlers at that point because they steal money left and right and fucking money launder the shit is what it is, dude. So fucking retarded, man. Yeah, apparently a city of Dublin, a suburb of Columbus, erected similar signs about that stuff in 2018 as part of their year-long campaign to educate the public about community organizations and resources available to help people in need. Well, like, here's the thing, right? If they're not, supposedly panhandling is not illegal or whatever the case be, then what does it really hurt, dude? And the thing is, who's to say that that guy that's out there, you know, getting $5, $10 a day, whatever it is, who the fuck knows, is actually doing anything wrong? You know, who's to say that he actually can get fucking food assistance or you know, a hot meal, whatever it is, there every day, or some fucking gas, or whatever for his vehicle, or whatever it is, dude, you know? Or who's to say he even wants that stuff? Who's to say the guy isn't a fucking wino and just wants a fucking bottle of booze, honestly? I mean, hell, I talked about that story before, actually. There was those two guys over there in Canton, I think it was around the same area, if I'm not mistaken. years ago with my mom and my sister's friend, where we were out delivering it was one of the last cakes that Mom did, actually, when she was still doing cakes and stuff here. And it was two guys who were obviously hardworking dudes, actually, because they had I think they were mechanics locally is what it was there. And you had the first guy just holding up this big-ass sign that says, "Fuck it, I ain't gonna lie, I need a drink." And I'm like, I was sort of like, kind of like, oh, at least he's actually being legit about it and stuff like that. And like my mom, like I kind of had like a weird smile on my face at the time, or whatever. And then like as soon as I'm like looking at that guy's direction, his buddy walks up with a smaller sign. Like you have like this big sign here this guy's holding. Buddy walks up with a smaller sign, like this size basically, flips it up, and it just says "Me too." And I just start busting out laughing. On my mom and my sister's friend were like, "What are you laughing about?" And I pointed to the two guys, and they just started cracking up like crazy too. It was just fucking hilarious, dude. And I'll tell you what, honestly, if I had had the money at the time, I would have seriously considered going over to the fucking local gas station there, whatever the case be, grabbing a 6-pack or even a couple just tall boys from whatever the case be, and just going back over there and being like, "Here you go, guys." Because at least they're being honest about what they're doing out there is what it is. At least you're not going to lie to you about what they're actually doing out there, dude, is what it is. And that's the entire point right now. And that's the thing, right? Like, honesty to me goes a long ways what it is. If you're going to be for real about why you want the money, hell, I'll buy you the fucking drink, dude, if I have the cash on me. Because at least then I know exactly what it's going to go to. Now, granted, do I really want to enable you at that point to continue to be an alcoholic, etc. there? Not really. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if it's one thing here or there, whatever the case be, it's whatever, dude. At the same time, I'm going to be like, there are, services out here, buddy, to help you go, get AA and stuff like that, whatever the case be. And like direct that person towards services or whatever the case be then. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if they're going to be for real about why they want the money, dude, like maybe I'll give it to them for all that matter. Or maybe I'll go get them what they actually want is what it is with that money. So, it is what it is, man. But yeah, it's a bunch of shit, honestly, dude, that you have these people that want to sit there and fucking try to fuck over people's stuff or whatever the case be. And like I said, you could just ban panhandling straight out is what it is then, man. And the fact of the matter is, it's like, yeah, when you got people out there that are sitting there, I think there was a guy in Michigan years ago that was doing that shit. And you had a local place offer him a job, and he's like, dude, I make more money out panhandling every day is what it is. Then you guys are going to pay me on that stuff, and I'll have to pay taxes on it. And that's what it really is at the end of the day. A lot of cases, it's people that are doing that just to not pay taxes is what it is, dude. So it's a way to kind of defraud the taxation of the government is what it is. At the same time, it's like, if I did that shit, I'd be in jail right now. So I don't know, man. It's a bunch of shit all the way around, though, and I'm personally getting pretty sick and tired of it all the way around right now. So anyway, I wish Corey had been on with us today, but unfortunately he did not. So I don't know what his deal is. Maybe he's still having issues there in Texas or something. Maybe he's getting some more storms there or something. It's still pretty fucking cold here right now. It's only 37. There's supposed to be light rain going on right now. I'm not sure if there actually is or not. I can't really tell one way or another. So it's really hard to tell outside right now. It's looking kind of weirdly dank and shit like that. So anyway, but yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts though, dude. Like we are in for some weird fucked up times ahead right now in this country, and I think we're definitely going to be in some weird ass shit happening pretty quick as it will be. So anyway, in about 45 seconds, I'm going to be doing some stuff here, so I can continue to talk. Maybe I will actually for a couple minutes because it's not going to be an issue or whatever. I'm still playing the game and stuff right now. Actually, if you guys want to see, I can actually probably do a screen present right now. I'm not sure. I'll pop it or not. Nope, it's still going to still frame on my face there like that. Of course it does. Fucking hate when that shit happens, dude. It really pisses me off. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that whole thing with everything with the collapse and what have you there, or the people getting all these like different sheriff stations and police and officials and everything else like that talking about people need to get prepared for April 8th and the eclipse and shit and stock up on like gas and food and water and stuff like that. It's like, what do you guys know that you're not telling us, dude? That's my question right now, because I feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot that we are not being told right now about that whole thing. And it's not going to be until that day that we're going to find some fucked up shit happening in this country, honestly, dude. And it's a scary, scary factoid to think about right now. But yeah, I think we're definitely heading for a weird, fucked up time in this country's history right now, dude. And whether that be, shit about to pop off one way or another, or something else that, for that matter, happening that day. Who knows? But I definitely think we're about to see some weird fucking nutty shit going on right now, man. And I do not like it at all. I think it's definitely going to be some very, very bad times ahead right now. And I think we are definitely going to be in a situation where when things pop off, you will never see this country be the same again after that day it'll be. So, and whether that be, April 9th, whether that be April 10th, who knows, man. But yeah, I definitely see something crazy happening on April 8th, though, for sure, and it leading directly towards like a difference of this country in the future. Whether that be it becomes like a gray state kind of situation where it's, government versus the people, or whether it be, a bunch of fucking illegals are now in the military, whatever the case be there. I don't know, man, but it's like, it's a scary thought to think about right now, honestly, because who's to say what's going to happen? And if it does become like crazy shit like that or not, dude. So I definitely think we are heading towards a fucked up time in this country's existence right now, and a crazy time of historical facts and stuff like that, to where when the history books get written, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, and they look back here in the 2020s and stuff, it's going to be like this crazy ass prelude to something, whether it be a prelude to a Second American Revolution or Second Civil War, maybe both of them for that matter, who knows. But yeah, it's a whole thing, man. We talked about it briefly within the last hour here. Yeah, it was 40 dead, 100 injured plus, or something like that now. I know Alex Jones was breaking it down earlier. A lot of people are saying it looks like a false flag to them. I don't know, man. It feels off, I'll say that much. The fact that they're sitting there trying to claim it was like basically Russia doing it themselves, more or less, or some people in Russia doing it themselves, or whatever the case be, like, feels very fucking off too, for that matter. I think it's fucking Zelensky, honestly, dude. I think it's him doing some fucking shady shit. I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually US government fuckery in that one too, for that matter. If it was like some SEAL Team 6 kind of shit, or whatever the case be, or kind of like what was that movie? Not movie. The Terminal List, that TV series, what those guys are doing in that whole thing, where it was basically them being told to go down into this like place, or whatever the case be. And in reality, it was them, trying to basically ambush some fucking guy, or whatever the case be then. So, yeah, I wouldn't be least surprised with something like that, honestly. And like I said, I think it's definitely some crazy, crazy shit going on right now across the board. And I think it's only a matter of time before Americans finally start waking up to this shit right now, honestly. And if this be the case, and it's them trying to again get us into World War III, who the fuck knows? Maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is right now. It's that whole entire prelude then to, some fucking false flag attack to try to institute like a World War III kind of fucking declaration or something like that. I know for a fact they were calling in. There was some kind of amendment, I believe is what it was, that was enacted the other day, and it was supposed to be something. I forget exactly what the actual thing was called. It's like some weird act thing or whatever. But basically, it's to allow for the U.S. Army to bring back in people who were already like U.S. military vets that were like way, way past the age of actual recruitment again, is what it was. So you're talking about people that would be like, 50, 60, 70, even in some cases, maybe. And it would be like previous military wars and stuff like that. Essentially, what they're talking about is people like my cousin John, who is actually technically John would be my cousin Lisa's husband, and he was actually a Desert Storm War veteran, or my friend Tony, who was actually in the same conflict there, and he was has a lot of health issues from that, for that matter, because it was all the shit they were doing over there with the oil fields and stuff like that, because he was in the middle of that crap, is what it was, in the military. And has health issues from that nowadays. It's like my my uncles who got exposed to Agent Orange back in the Vietnam War, or like Duke and his buddies that got exposed to all that fucking burn pit shit there in Iraq and stuff. Like, it's any and all these guys that they're talking about basically reenacting into the militaries would be then. So yeah, it's a fucking scary thought to think about, man. Like, it's fucking crazy shit for real. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see just the insanity going off in this country right now, man. And when it happens, it's going to be, I believe, truly really quickly. And I think people are not going to see it coming until it happens. So anyway, but yeah, needless to say, we are in for some very odd times ahead right now, and I think we're definitely in for some really dark times ahead in this country's history. And I don't know what to say right now. I think there's definitely going to be some fuckery going on across the board right now. I believe truly anything and everything's on the table right now, from false flag attacks to assassination attempts by Democrats on themselves and everybody else for that matter, to Democrats letting impeachment of Biden happen so they can put Michelle Obama in there and stuff like that. So, who's to say right now, dude? But yeah, oh man, that fucking pisses me off. I just got one of the gold dogs and had no dogs at all in the damn thing for the world events here on this game. Bunch of bullshit entirely. It's almost as much bullshit as them taking away my damn replenishment stuff every day now. Bunch of a-holes. So, but yeah, no, for real though. There's some crazy fucked up shit happening right now, man, and it's like, I don't think people are realizing just how crazy shit's about to go down in this nation until it does start to go down in this nation and other nations worldwide for that matter. And when that stuff happens, dude, like, it's going to be some head spinners real quick is what's going to happen on that one. So, yeah, my best advice to everybody is be prepared for the worst, hope for the best, and definitely be armed and ready for something to go down that day. And I would say to the point where you have guns that are all chambered up that day. So if you need to grab a gun real quick, all you gotta do is hit like a switch on it or something like that to take it to from safe to fire, and it's gonna be good to go. Then is what it'll be. Because that's the thing. Like, that's one thing I plan on doing right now, dude. I don't plan on going anywhere April 8th, which is gonna be a Monday morning / afternoon there. I plan on just sitting here at the house is what it is, and I plan on having every single gun I own right now, having one in the chamber that day, just in case. Like, that's how prepared I'm going to be right now on that whole thing. So, but anyway. Not to mention you got, like I said, shit like this right here where it's fucking... Yeah, these people say can't... not sure of the location, if anyone knows where it is. To reply here, but yeah, it was talking about reports of vehicles with UN peacekeepers in them delivering Beretta handguns to fucking various illegals in this country that are being quote unquote housed here. So they have been seen waiting around blue cities, and some witnesses have described them as though, quote, they are waiting on marching orders. Yeah, I'm not surprised at least by that one, man, honestly. So, yeah. Yeah, especially when you got, like I said, you got this fucking crazy cunt right here who is an Obama-era judge that was installed, talking about, quote, contends, judge rules that illegal aliens can carry firearm. So contends that he received and used the handgun solely for self-protection and protection of property during the time of documented civil unrest in the spring of 2020. Yeah, Illinois judge rules that illegals can carry guns. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think shit's about to pop off real fucking crazy in this country. And I just hope most Americans are better shots than illegals are, man. Because we're going to be the ones that are going to have to deal with these fucking people. And that's exactly why I'm going to have hopefully multiple ARs by the time the April 8th comes around is what it'll be, man. So I can actually deal with these people the right way. For me, long ass distance is what it is then. So, anyway, if it actually comes to that, obviously, not that I want to have to do that, but shit's getting crazy enough, dude. I mean, how you got this one here where it was where are we at now? Yeah, it was squatters in California who were being evicted by the Squatter Squad, is what they call themselves, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Squatter Squad California releases more videos of them getting squatters out of homes. Would be great for a real estate content channel. Great business to start in areas with squatter problems. Charge $5,000 to help homeowners fast and in a hurry is what it is there. Yeah, you got people just literally fucking kicking in the doors over there. and kicking these fucking squatters out of the places what it is there in California. So, as it should be. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think the thing that scares me the most, though, with April 8th, though, has to be the fucking warnings that are being given out by these people now that are, like this year, New York authorities warn residents to expect cellular disruptions during upcoming solar eclipse, suggest they stock up on food, water, and fuel. As a response to NASA's report that a total solar eclipse will occur on April 8th, 2024, New York authorities are warning New Yorkers to be prepared. In a recent press release by New York State Police, officials warned residents to be prepared for cellular outages, slow 911 response times, gridlock traffic, and water/food demand during the upcoming total solar eclipse. Also included in the press release was a list of suggestions calling for residents to stock up on food, water, and fuel before that. Said the warning by New York State Police comes as the department looks to learn from their responses in the 2017 total solar eclipse. Said, quote, "We're just a little bit more than 2 weeks away from this eclipse, and while many neighbors, visitors, and businesses are preparing for the historic day, so are we, New York State Police." So New York State Police is in close collaboration with other state, local, and federal officials. Law enforcement, emergency services, and transportation agencies have meticulously developed an emergency operation plan. Our unwavering goal is to provide a comprehensive and uniform presence during the safety of both ensuring the safety of both visitors and residents as they experience and travel from home for the eclipse. Members of the state police will implement security measures appropriate for large gatherings and take all necessary actions to maintain order and smooth traffic flow. Yeah, just crazy stuff, man, for real. Yeah, so so here are the warnings and suggestions that New York State Police have listed. Concerns for the area due to influx of population, potential for transportation system disruptions and or impacts, potential for delayed/disrupted emergency service responses and prolonged wait times, potential for stranded motorists, out-of-area visitors, and potential weather/road conditions. Fuel infrastructure may not be able to support an increase in vehicle traffic. Gridlock traffic may increase fuel, food, and water demand depending on duration. Cellular networks may be overloaded by high volume, increasing 911 call level volume. Do not park or stop on the highway. If you wish to stop, find a safe location that does not interfere with traffic. As New York State Police makes the following recommendations based on expectations. Plan on staying in the region the night of the event. Okay, so that right there tells me something's about to go down, man. When they're talking about wherever you're going to be at, you're going to be there for the entire fucking night, at least. That tells me we're about to see some 1 second after shit right now, dude. Or it's going to be some fucking EMP stuff or something, probably. Says if you can't stay /fuel/charge up the day before the event. So yeah, it's saying basically either stay there for the night or you're going to have to basically be totally filled up to get the fuck out kind of thing is what it is then. And that was have extra food and water in your vehicle for your trip. Shop the day before. Local residents should avoid highways the day of the event. So have cell phones charged and bring chargers with you. Schools are recommended to have the day off or a half day. Plan on being in traffic for an extended period of time. Plan on viewing the event from designated viewing sites. If you are going to view the eclipse, ensure you use the appropriate glasses provided. If from out of the area, don't use vehicles that can't travel for 10 plus hours without charging. Standard EVs in traffic will be towed. Stranded EVs in traffic will be towed. Or don't use a fucking electric vehicle at all, people. So, yeah, it says New York is one of the many states preparing for total solar eclipse. Gateway Pundit previously pointed out that Elyria Township Fire Department, Ohio, warned residents to stay indoors during the eclipse. A statement released by the officials highlighted the importance of well-being. Prepared weeks in advance for eclipse. It recommended that residents stock up on food, ensuring they have a significant supply of their prescriptions picked up the week before. Keep cell phone batteries charged. Schedule any necessary appointments for before or after the eclipse weekend, etc. Yeah. And there's the actual article here, which is this is weird. City officials warn residents in Elyria Township, Ohio, to stockpile supplies and stay at home during total solar eclipse in April. This was a month ago this happened, actually. So, yeah, it's fucking shit's going fucking crazy, dude. Like, it is scary. It scares the shit out of me right now, honestly, legitimately. For those who don't know, Elyria would be in Cowgate County, which is Cleveland area. So, but yeah, shit's about to go fucking crazy, man, for real. And I am legitimately scared for what's to come right now. Like, I'm not quite shitting my pants right now, but I'm like pretty fucking close, bro. Like, it is, like I said, I think we're definitely going to be heading towards a crazy world-changing event right now in this country, man. And I don't look forward to it, if I'm being honest. Because I think we're about to get some crazy shit happening here, people. So, anyway. But yeah, shit's about to get wild. So, anywho's. Yeah, interesting. Got a chick that's leading my clan in this account here. Just got one of the really early on things. It's like, damn, girl, you didn't have a Carol yet? Jesus. So, where did I end up in this, actually? That's a good question. Took third, apparently. Okay. Yeah, sounds about right. Jesus. Anyway. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to have us a crazy ass deal going on in this nation pretty soon. So be prepared, y'all, because you might not like what this country becomes very soon. Because when it does come, it's going to come real fast, man. I don't say that lightly either. I mean, obviously, that's me making kind of a half-assed joke on that one, but yeah, no, man. If you're going to come, you better come hard, man. So that's all I got to say about that one. But anyway, I don't know, man. But yeah, I think shit's about to go pretty wild pretty quickly is what it'll be. So hopefully by then I'll be a multi-millionaire, though, so it won't really matter to me, honestly. Because I could just be, having all the monies is what it'll be. So fingers crossed on that one. But anyway, but yeah, it's definitely going to get fucking nuts here is what it is, man. And I think we're definitely heading for some bad times ahead right now. So I don't look forward to the future at all when it comes to the potential for a grid down situation and stuff like that. Because I know for a fact that if it does happen, a lot of us aren't going to survive it. We're going to be in very, very bad shape, and we are going to be in a position where we are not going to live past the first initial onset that will be. So now, granted, if you think you are going to live, like, good for you, but like the chances of a lot of us dying in that situation are very, very high, man. Because the truth of the matter is that we do not have the infrastructure we once did in this country, or I should say, we will not have the infrastructure we once did in this country. We will not have the sanitation that we currently have in this nation. And if and when it comes to that whole thing, it's going to be a bad, bad deal and a bad, bad day because, even as a Tactical Muffin Top was saying here on one of Honda's chats recently, where he was discussing, potential for a full-blown civil war in this country and stuff. And the fact of the matter is, man, like, if that were to happen, we are all fucked because you have a lot of dead bodies that are going to be full of disease in that first 72 to 96 hours, give or take, in a full-blown civil war. If, things get bad enough here in this country, you're going to have so many more diseased and dying people here in about that same amount of time. If you were to live, let's go ahead and throw it out right now, right? Let's go ahead and say an EMP hits April 8th. If you were to live by the time that April 15th comes around, you're probably going to be either killing people for food, or you're going to be eating people at that point, or you're committing suicide. And by the time 14 days comes around, so the 22nd, if you live to the 22nd, again, you're either going to be eating people or you're going to be killing for food again. And I think most people are not going to be able to deal with that. I think a lot of people are just going to opt out in many cases. I'm not personally going to go that route if it came to it. Would I actually go full cannibal, though? I can't tell you, honestly, because I don't even know myself if I would go that route. I think people would need to open themselves to the possibility, though, that you might have to go that route is what it is, though. And those that are not willing to go down that road, again, maybe they'll live, maybe they won't. That being said, who's to say how long it's going to be that we're going to be in that situation? It could be months, it could be years. It could be, a day or two. I think when it's all said and done, though, the longer that we are in that kind of a situation, though, and the more that we are heading down that road of the possibility of that being a thing, the more likelihood that you will see it be the whole Alex Jones eating the neighbors thing becoming reality in this country. And it's something that we, in some cases, shouldn't really think about going down that road of, but at the same time need to have these discussions, need to have these actual conversations just in case, because you never fucking know. You never fucking know if you're going to have to go down that road is what it is. Now, granted, like I said, we shouldn't have to go down that road. We should be more civilized in that, obviously. But the thing is, we have this thin veil of civility right now in this country's history, man. And the more and more that we are heading towards this time period of history, the more likelihood that we are not going to be making our way past this point of return without a lot of people going down in flames during this whole time. And I think you're going to see a lot of different folks that think that they're not going to be going down this road, that they're going to go down this road. And whether that be that they go down that road willingly, or whether that be that they do it because they have to survive, that's on them. If they want to go that route, again, that's on them, dude. If they don't want to go that route, that's on them as well. If they know that they can survive elsewhere, and then they can survive somehow without going down that road, that's the best thing that can happen, honestly, then, dude. But if you think that you're going to survive without that kind of thing being a possibility, or having to deal with those people that do go down that, route, you got another thing coming, man. I think Duke put it best the other day, actually, when he said the only reason that America is how it is right now and we are so civilized as a nation is because we are fed. And that is very true. We are well fed right now. And you've seen people when they start slipping after only a few hours not being fed, and how crazy some of them can get, man. Now think about that at a mass scale, especially with the influx of illegals into this country that are going to be not fed, and some of them already being possible cannibals. And then you realize, that's who you're going to be fighting immediately, dude. And it's going to be the zombie horde, legitimately, at that point. So, I don't know. I don't personally like to think about it, honestly, too much, because I'd rather think of a time of us being, able to band together and come back from this. But at the same time, I'm just can we? And really, right now, the answer is no. I don't think so. I think truthfully what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of people go out in a quick blaze of glory. And the ones that stay behind, good on them. But at the same time, it's like, be prepared for the worst, man, because you might be seeing the worst of humanity when it's all said and done then. So, I don't know what's to come of this country right now. I would hope that we can come back from this whole thing. I would hope we don't have to go on that road at all, for that matter. But at the same time, it's best to be prepared in case it does happen, because you never fucking know anymore. And I think Americans as a whole, we have unfortunately gotten lazy. We have gotten slow. We have gotten very complacent. We have had the fight brought out of us for a long, long time, I believe. And it's the main reason why we have not seen the things that we've seen right now. Because when people want to do bad things and can get away with doing bad things, it's only a matter of time before those bad things maintain a level of just bad shit in general. And it will be at that point in time in history is when you will actually see people who will, let their mask completely slip off. And you will have the people like your Gareths and stuff like that, where, they didn't want to start out as cannibals, but that's exactly what Terminus became at the end of the day of Walking Dead. And I think that's the sad part right now, is that's exactly what you'll see more of in this country. It'll be the people that did not want to go down that road that unfortunately got forced down that road because they were put in a situation where they had to survive. And the only way for them to survive was to be the people who ate, the people who made sure that they survived by eating the ones who tried to destroy them, is what it was. So, just to be clear here, I'm not trying to justify cannibalism at all, dude. I'm not trying to justify that at all, is what it is. I never would do that, honestly. What I'm simply stating is the fact, and that fact of the matter is, when things go south, they're going to go south in a quick-ass succession. And that quick-ass succession is going to be a bad fucking day for this country's history. And if it comes to it, man, I don't even know anymore. Like, it's going to be a bad day. That's all I got to say about it, man. And that's the truth of the matter. It's going to be a bad day for our country when these things go down. So, I don't know. I'm praying right now, man. I'm repenting, honestly, right now. Because I really don't know what's going to happen. And I think we're definitely going to head for a fucked up time in history, man. So, like I said, I have no idea right now, honestly. I mean, it could be something like that. It could legitimately be us just being, something else now. And if that be the case, and that's what we are, who's to say? But like at the same time, it's like, do I really want to go down that road? Do I really want to have to worry about having to eat my neighbors and shit? Hell no, dude. Like, that's disgusting, obviously. But at the same time, it's like, did those guys that had the plane crashes and stuff like that in the Andes and shit back in the day, like that soccer team and stuff like that, did they really want to have to eat their teammates and stuff? No, most of them didn't, honestly. And the fucked up part about that was people always like assume that, when they were eating these guys and stuff like that, they had like, a good old fashioned like barbecue going on there. It was them all being able to cook up that meat and stuff. No, dude. They talked about that. I was watching something here a while ago is what it was about it. It was like some special they put on, I forget if it was like ABC or who it was that was talking about that there. And they were discussing like how it went down there. And it's like, yeah, these guys died in the plane crash. And then their bodies were sitting there for like days at a time is what it was then. And it was eventually, these guys were trying to start fires and stuff like that. Couldn't start the fire at all. But had like little pocket knives and stuff like that. They were able to like slice off a chunk of this dude's like, meat is what it was there at that point. From his like thigh leg, like the thigh meat of his leg, whatever the case be, what it was there. Or I think in some cases it was like ass meat because it was like the only thing that was still like non-frozen or something like that. And yeah, these guys were talking about what they were eating, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it tasted like this gross ass like jelly stuff," is what it was, dude. And it's like that just sounded gross as fuck, honestly. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by it, man. Like, and that's the worst thing, honestly. I think had they been able to cook it, man, maybe it would have tasted better, honestly. But like the fact that they couldn't cook it, like makes it even more gross, actually, on that one. So, you know. Anyway, but anywho's, I don't know, man. Shit's about to go fucking nuts, though. I think, and it's only a matter of time before it just everything kicks off right now. Like I said, I put everything on the table right now to go down this year, whether that be, you know, Democrats trying to assassinate Trump, whether it be fucking, you know, them letting the impeachment of Biden go through so they can bring in Big Mike's ass and stuff like that to take over, whether it be, you know, fucking martial law being implemented someplace across the world is what it is right now, whether it be some EMP attack on April 8th. That creates a lot of this stuff. A lot of that chaos and havoc is what it is then. I don't know, man. But what I do know, though, is like the last place I want to be on April 8th is any major city in this country right now, especially the city of Ohio, man, because, oh my God, bro, I couldn't even imagine being stuck in like Cleveland and stuff like that with a bunch of leftist assholes and stuff like that up there that are all a bunch of Antifa types and shit like that trying to murk my ass out and like some gang fucking warfare or whatever the case be, dude. Fuck that noise. So, anyway, but, yeah, that being said, though, that's pretty much where I'm at for the day right now. I will be back here sometime later tonight. I'm not sure exactly when yet. Or no, sorry, not tonight. I'll be back sometime later in the next probably day or so. Because I'm most likely going to do a what you call it tomorrow then for what do you call it now? The thing. Fuck, I'm trying to remember what this called now. Stand Your Ground Saturday. I'll probably do one of those tomorrow night, actually, is what it'll be. And then from there, I'll go and do some other stuff a little bit too on that one. So I'm going to try to find, like, this is the thing. By the way, if anybody knows a good case out there that I can cover for Stand Your Ground Saturday, please hit me up in the Discord with that one, because I'm trying to find cases that I can go over now. There are clearly cases of Stand Your Ground and stuff like that I want to discuss along the way is what it is right now. But the problem is I don't have enough of them to just go out there and talk about. Like, I could actually talk about the ones I was going to talk about a couple weeks ago, which is basically that Kyle Korith, Chad guy. I forget the guy's last name is or whatever the case be is. But I could basically call on that one, obviously, for the time being, if I needed to, because that was an interesting case in of itself, and there was a lot of fuckery going on in that case entirely, dude. Like, there was some real shady shit going on there with that family and that whole thing is what it is, and that should be covered, honestly, I think, more in depth, especially when there's lawsuits going up against that against that Kyle Korth guy. But at the same time, I believe there's other ones that could be discussed too, for that matter. And, you know, maybe we'll do Daniel Penny at one point here as well, for that matter, because we already did Daniel Perry, obviously, in Texas. So maybe we'll do Daniel Penny in New York City is what it is there. That was obviously a clear-cut case of self-defense, is now being railroaded as a murder is what it is there, which is absolute bullshit entirely. So, but anyway, but yeah, it's interesting, man. There is definitely some weird stuff going on right now in this country, and I think we are heading for some really, 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 really fucked up times ahead right now, to the point where when things do start to go down, people are going to have their heads spinning real quick, man. It's going to be some crazy shit going on all the way around the world, and it'll be people not understanding things the way that they are right now until they go down like that. And then only then will they be like, holy shit, man, that guy was telling the exact truth then. So, yeah. I don't really want to be Nostradamus. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really don't. But, I could be Wish.com Alex Jones, honestly. So, the one thing that man has taught me in the few years I've listened to him over the years is what it is over there, is that, if you start looking into stuff hard enough, you can start to see patterns and shit, dude. And when you're seeing all this crazy fuckery going on with all these different state officials and stuff like that, where they're basically telling you, like, oh, you might have to stay here this entire night kind of thing, or whatever the case be, it's like, why? Why couldn't I just easily get back to my place there, dude? Is it because y'all are about to start doing some shit that wouldn't allow me to get back to that place that I want to be, which is called home? So, yeah, it seems like some real shady stuff going on right now, man, for real. And like I said, I think we're in for some fucking weird-ass times to come right now, to where the last place I want to be in this country is in any fucking major city, even the state of Ohio, dude. And that should tell you something right there. That I don't trust any one of these damn people in this state right now in a major city. So, yeah, I prefer to not be there is what it is then. So if I was going to go anywhere, it would be like within a few miles of my house pretty much, to like a slightly better version of where the totality would be is what it is there. But within enough distance and stuff where I knew for a fact I was going to be carrying pretty heavily that night. And if need be, I would actually have a long gun with me that day is what it is then. Like, if anything, I'd be with my cousins that day is what it'd be. And I know for a fact with his vehicle, I could easily be heavily armed in that vehicle and have like long guns in his trunk and shit like that of his truck. So, because he has one of those like under ones is what it is there, where you can like basically have a gun in there is what it'd be then. If not like multiple ARs and stuff like that there for myself and him and like maybe one of my other cousins, if that be the case then too. So, but yeah, the last thing I want to do is be any kind of unarmed in some kind of fucking conflict like that. So, yeah. But, anyways, that's pretty much where I'm at for today, though. So I'm going to call it a day right now, I think, and then we'll be back, like I said, sometime tomorrow not Buckshot Thursday, for Stand Your Ground Saturday. And obviously, we'll keep doing this resale thing, too. Hoping to make some money off that pretty soon is what it is, and I can actually have some cash flow coming in potentially from that is what it would be then, and be able to actually, do some stuff and work on some things and not have to worry about, stupid bullshit getting in the way and whatnot, since government keeps trying to fuck me over right now when it comes to getting disability and stuff like that. So, fucking bastards. Anyway. But yeah. So, that being said, though, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been really interesting, obviously. And the fact that, like I said, there's been more and more coming out about this shit now with the local governments and everybody else like that being like, hey, everybody, like, here's this bullshit now. And it's like, what the fuck y'all doing over here, man? Seriously. Like, y'all trying to do some shit over here? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Fucking Bidenomics. Anyway, but nah, seriously though, it's been fun, man. So I'm gonna go message Corey here and see what he's up to right now, and see if he's got some things that he needs to discuss with me or not. And then I'll probably go make some food then. Actually, I had some burger in the fridge that's basically been sitting there for weeks now that I haven't been able to make yet because it's still completely frozen. It seems like. Hopefully that'll be thawed out. Then if that'd be the case tonight, and I can actually make some burgers out of it then. So if that be the case, I'll just make some burgers and throw some fries in the fucking oven or something like that. Then make some burgers and fries then. So at least that's my thought right now. If I can't do that, I have no idea what I'm going to do then, honestly. I'm being serious. I could do another TV dinner, but yeah. Ooh, actually, I just realized that I got some tostinos up in the fridge, actually, or freezer. So I could always do those as well if the burger isn't cooked then. What I think I might do, actually, if those burgers are still a little bit frozen or whatever, I might just cut it open and just pull out some of it that might be frozen still, and then just try to like cook it on the grill anyway, or whatever the case be. Like on the oven is what it be, or on the not oven, on the stovetop there is what it is, and like get it nice and done or whatever. But at the same time, like before I would do that, obviously what I would actually do is take some bacon, and I would fry up some bacon, right? And so we have the bacon ready to roll, then is what it'd be, right? And then we got the bacon all nice and crispy and shit. And you got the extra bacon grease still in the pan from that, right? And then we would take that and we would fry up them burgers in that bacon grease, man, because that seems like it would be really fucking good right now. And see if that would be any different than the bacon with the scrambled eggs I've done recently. So, and then of course we would have some bacon on our burger. Then it wouldn't be a bacon cheeseburger because we don't eat cheese, but plus I'm not really a fan of cheese on my burgers. What it is though, so it would essentially just be a bacon hamburger combo with some probably. I'm thinking maybe some pickles underneath of it, and then like a little bit of ketchup someplace on it too as well. Like maybe do like the top half, just have it be like burger and then like bacon on top, and then like flip it over and do like a squirt of ketchup and like a couple pickles underneath it, if that's the case. So now I'm getting really hungry, so I'm gonna go do that right now. And it's as simple as that, really. And that way I got like, about 20 minutes or so to fuck around is what it is right now before reset happens. Here's what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna go find out how thawed this burger is right now, and then if nothing else, I'll just, like I said, maybe I'll like cool thawed or something somehow real quick as it'll be, or just toss it in the fucking microwave or something then if that be the case. So, but anyway. But that being said, that is where we will be off for today. And I hope you all enjoyed this. And hopefully they'll come back tomorrow for some Stand Your Ground Saturday, where we may or may not be talking about the Kyle Korris shooting situation there in Texas. Or we could just be talking about something else entirely. We might do a couple different stories a day actually on that one for various, maybe do like a one where it's like one good shoot, one bad shoot kind of thing, if that be the case, where it's like one that's like obviously not like a Stand Your Ground situation, and then one that would totally be a Stand Your Ground situation or something like that. And maybe go like back and forth of like, hey, here's this version of this thing or whatever that happened. And oh, by the way, this is why this one's fucking terribly and not actually anything like that first one. So yeah. It's a whole thing, man. But either way, like I said, it's been real, been fun. Sometimes it's been real fun. Other times it's been real crazy. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And we are about almost 2 hours into this episode. So, yes, I'm going to call it a day then and say later, y'all. Have a good one. Not going to rip off NEA like E-Honda does, because I got my own things out here. But yeah, it's always be carrying, bro. Seriously. ABC, always be carrying, because you never know when something's going to happen. And when it does, you never know what you're going to need. And you're going to need every last round that you have in your gun, which is why you should always be carrying a magazine in that gun that is at least 15 rounds or more, because you never know if you're going to have only one attacker or if it'll be a gang of attackers, and you're going to need every last round that counts. And it's really as simple as that. Always be standing your ground. Your life is more important than the criminals. Do not let them kill you. Be the person that survives that encounter, and be that good self-defender. And it's as simple as that. Have a good one, y'all. Later.